Time now for more PFT on Yahoo Sports. Peter King, Mike Florio, all the big stories in the National Football League. And shockingly, the San Francisco 49ers, a team with Super Bowl aspirations. They were just there a couple of years ago. Now they are 2-4 after their first 6 games. What can Coach Kyle Shanahan do, in your opinion, Peter, to turn this thing around?
Mike, I think it's as simple as pulling out every stop, doing everything humanly possible to win one game, just one game at Chicago on Sunday. And the reason why I say that is that nothing at all is promised to the San Francisco 49ers this year. They have no idea what the short or long-term future is. The only thing that they know is that they got to get out of this hole. And so in order to get out of this hole, they have to do whatever they need to do to win a game against a bad team on Sunday. Now, Mike, you know and I know that both quarterbacks have fallen short for San Francisco this year. But in my opinion, giving Jimmy Garoppolo even a condensed game plan with things that Shanahan is optimistic and positive that he can pull off in this game, that is the way to go. And then running a back like Elijah Mitchell as much as you have to have long drives to just keep moving the chains. And again, I can't emphasize enough, this game, I think, is one of the most important games in the Shanahan-Lynch tenure. They're 8 games under 500 in their tenure in the regular season. And 3 of 4 previous years have been losing non-playoff years. This can't continue. And I'm not saying they're in trouble, because I don't think they are. But obviously this can't go on.
Well, and they desperately need this one because their next 2 games, both at home against the Cardinals and the Rams game, a Monday night game, they're going to need to win one of those 2 to reestablish themselves, assuming they can even beat the Bears. They lose to the Bears and it could all fall apart. And you mentioned the record. Other than 2019, this 5-year tenure of Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch has been a major disappointment. And I can't help but wonder at what point seats begin to heat up. And because Kyle runs the show, I think maybe he'd get a chance to hire a second GM. Usually it's the GM who gets the chance to hire a second coach. I think the first guy to go would be Lynch if it gets to that, with Kyle getting a shot to have someone else to come set the table. But at some point, somebody's got to be accountable for the fact that the team isn't getting it done.
I agree, Mike, and I think that they have a lot of promise. They have a lot of players in that building who are better than what they've shown in starting 2-4. But I also think if you look at some of the draft choices that have not panned out, and I'm looking at you, Brandon Ayuk, I think it was Al Michaels, Mike, the other day who said Brandon Ayuk just has to grind a little more. He's got to work harder. And, I think that was Al Michaels who said that.
Yes.
And look, if Kyle Shanahan feels that way about Brandon Ayuk, it doesn't necessarily say that these are bad coaches or whatever. But you know what it says to me? How did they draft a guy so high out of Arizona State with apparently some questions about either his character or his work ethic? That is the thing that would bother me right now when I look back. And look, at the end of this year, everything has to be on the table, open for discussion if it's a losing season.
Hey, I think back to the first draft they had together in 2017 when they flip-flopped with the Bears, and the Bears took Mitchell Trubisky. If the Bears had taken their guy, Solomon Thomas, remember who they were going to take with the 3rd overall pick? They were going to take Reuben Foster.
Reuben Foster.
Who they ended up...
I wrote it.
Yeah, who ended up taking with the 31st pick. Yeah, you were there. They told you. And, I mean, he was a major disappointment at the bottom of the round. Just imagine if they had taken him 3rd overall.
Yeah. Look, they have to just go down to bare bones and examine everything about their scouting process this offseason, Mike.
And it may require a new general manager, a new scouting department, a new whatever. I think Kyle Shanahan is safe, but you really have to wonder where those seats may heat up to the point where they make some changes. That's it for this edition of PFT on Yahoo Sports. We'll see you next time.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.